Alright, I'm going to do a little recording here for June 9th, 2023. And today is the rollover. I mean, today's the last day of the ESM contract before the rollover happens. And then we're going to be switching to ESU. And as far as economic events, there wasn't much going on. We had the oil rig counts, wasn't particularly a big deal. We had some stuff after hours. And that's about it. Nothing significant in the news. There were some opportunities for some good moves. And yeah, I'm still working on figuring out, what is my setup going to be? What's my edge going to be? I still have a lot of work to do on that. I keep getting these errors coming up on this replay mode. But as we can see on here, we had this whole balance. Maybe I'll draw something going from here to about here. Good enough, I suppose. And we see that most of the volume took place roughly around 4290. And we opened somewhere, right around here. Can go down on the smaller view, I guess. We opened somewhere roughly around here. And this would be very difficult to see, going up to about 715. And then you see something like this, where it's retesting this volume here. This happened very quickly. I mean, not that quick, within 20 minutes. So this is where your best stuff of the day is happening, because this is very difficult to have an idea of how that's going to happen, at least in my opinion. So we see this structure all the time, volume, come back, test a volume again. And I drew a picture when I messaged somebody. So I see these a lot, we'll have a high volume node, bunch of squiggles, and then it goes outside of that, then it comes back and tests it, and then it continues. See, and that's kind of what we have here. See, we have this, we have all this here. And then we have this. That's saying, they're going, this is too expensive right here. And that goes out of bounds there. Starts to go in a different direction, comes back to go, is this somewhere around here going to be too expensive? Let's see what candles look like. See, we're testing all that. Sometimes that can be a little distracting because I should be looking more at what Bookmap's doing. be watching more what the order flow is doing, because I can get false signal from candlestick patterns. Some people use Renko. That's a way to cut down on some of the, getting some false ideas because of candlestick patterns, because that's time and the market's not based on time, based on the participant behavior. So let me see, what was the yeah, so 4305 and 4325. I'm gonna mark that up real quick. So that was your IB high. 4305 was your IB low. What was your overnight high and low? I gotta switch it back to candles for overnight high and low. Well, that's here's the night session. Yeah. 4284. and 4305. We never even, I'm not even gonna bother with overnight low when nowhere near that. Let me see what it was. See, it went nowhere near that. But we see it did, see we're getting that pattern again that I point at. So you've got this here, look, a volume, and comes up, retests, and I mean, it could come down. Maybe in the bigger time frame, these are people getting out for the weekend, and it's the end of the contract before the rollover. So they could, that could just be, we're getting out for the weekend here. I don't think they want to be going into a new contract over the weekend. That was something I was originally thinking when this was going up higher. Like, why would they want to stay in this? We've got a new contract going into the weekend, so I figured, hey, this, and who's on the hook? Who's on the hook right now? It's longs. And you have targets below. You have 96. See, and it did hit 96. See, that wasn't an NVPOC because it was touched, but it's a MIC VPOC. It's a micro composite, and there's your 96. So it hit that, tested that high volume. Kind of like I'm showing in this image again. So you've got the high volume, and it came up and did this thing, and then it came back and went, is this a decent price? test it into this range here, I could draw a little rectangle and be like, here's the value area of this little distribution. Came in, tested, is anything in this range the fair price? Here's the high volume. And then went up here, tested again, and I was discussing with one of my buddies on Discord, just in the DMs. What are things I keep seeing over and over? Why am I having such a hard time coming up with a particular strategy for myself? So I can, have a specific set of triggers, and I can call that a setup, and I can try to measure, how many times can I do this thing, and it becomes risk neutral, and it has to be some commonly occurring thing that we see over and over and over. And this is one structure I see a lot. And you can add on the MBO data, look for stops and icebergs, and well, really more you can see stops, but as my skill gets better, I can mix in the icebergs with it. You have this high volume node and it's coming back being retested, and then a lot of times you get continuation, and it's fractal. So we see this high volume went up, was retested just like in this picture, and then we could be looking at going up. It can always do anything. It could go down, and it's fractal, so it's hard. And then we see up here, we don't have that much volume. But we see that in a fractal, there's more going on here. There's more volume here than well, we'll look at that in the book map here. So let's look at that real quick. We've got 6:30 we open, keeps going up. There's our IBH. I don't know why the thing keeps firing off error messages. Okay, but I'll try to go in here. This just keeps doing this over and over. It's annoying. For the purposes of making a little recap video, it helps. Just get the idea. See, we have more stuff happening here. And then we've got the volume coming. So this should suggest it going further up, but then we have this, this right here, this, it's smaller and it's less dense than what's going on here. We have more time for more volume to come in here, I would say, than what's happening here. And we tested with this right up to about in here. I don't know how significant it is, but you see here's a bigger player. That's a singular order. And we have a lot of volume in here. Well, not a lot of volume, but it's more than that. It follows that same kind of thing that I'm looking at that I'm saying is fractal. We keep seeing this kind of thing, you know, this flipped upside down. We see that. And it's a structure, we keep seeing it a lot. There's no guarantees of anything happening. I'm just going, what are common things that we see? God, that thing is annoying. I don't know what the hell the thing is even talking about. So I'm in replay mode. I don't know why the thing won't shut up. So there we've got this volume happening. Look, so we've got that. God, shut the hell up with the damn messages. Okay, so we've got that, and then we've got that, you know, and then look at that where it's going right in the around where the middle of that is. So it's that, and then it's that, and then you know, then it started to just turn into chop really. You know, and this is towards the close, you know, and it's end of contract, so you're not going to see anything real, you know, the bunch of chop. I think this was it's just a lot of chop here happening. This is where you got your big volume at, and see everything's getting smaller at that point, and just got a bunch of back and forth. You know, and you've got these. You're seeing within that, so you've got these two, and it's just kind of bouncing around. You're not seeing much, so I know, so that's about all I can tell about today. You know, oh yeah. See, well, we did have a at this point that would be you know, we have this shifting back down to here. Here's a VHVN. So I guess this would make that an IBF setup with this as your target. What's your R factor going to be? It's not very good. There's 5, but that could be a setup right here, right in this area, and going up like that. This thing is so annoying. What the hell even is this? Might have to get to support on this because maybe I shouldn't run the beta version every time. So I just want to illustrate that to myself really because I don't know how many people watch these. Because you have that. You know, and even to some degree you have this here, and then this coming and testing it, continuing down, and you have this coming here and then down, then you have this coming here and then that, and then the bigger move down. You know, and this to some, well, this, well, at this point it starts to turn into chop, so there's more to it than that, but you know, I'm going to cut it off there. This has been long enough, and today's one of those oddball days, you know, you get like 4 of them a year. get one each contract, and you have that last day before the contract rolls over. Unless it's a weekday, maybe then it would switch over the next day. In this case, it's happening on a Friday, and then Monday we're rolling over to ESU 3. So I think that's about all I can say about this. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up. And have a nice weekend, everyone.